Peace Collective, let's get into the daily energy reading. The first card that came out was Eight of Cups. To me, what this card is speaking to is walking away from a system, a path that no longer serves us, choosing us. See, we tried to make things work when we were ultimately experiencing and operating out of limiting beliefs. And those aspects of us cannot go with us to our new roads, our new pathways. And this week it is about aligning with what is beautiful and what is next. And the way of doing things, right? I feel like, and I can speak for myself mostly, but I feel like a lot of people in the collective were doing things, even if it was things that they loved, with an attachment to this has to be fruitful and this has to provide abundance. And with that energy, the abundance was staying at bay. We were not ultimately truly magnetizing to us what we desired and what we would have liked to see to play out. And our desired paths and respective paths that we were walking down. And this could be career, this could be, familial relationships, um, friendships, and all different types of aspects in life. We are choosing to walk away we're choosing to walk away from what no longer serves us. And it doesn't mean that you're walking away from what you love. It doesn't necessarily mean for some that you're walking away from family members or those treasured connections. What you're doing is no longer sitting in a seat of disappointment. You're no longer sitting waiting for the cups to be filled by individuals or circumstances that are not filling your cup. Thus, you are going on this venture, collective, to now start filling your own cup. And that is confirmed by the Queen of Cups. To me, this is someone who is now allowing themselves to get into a flow state. And it is not um, always as easy as it seems to get into a flow state. It can actually be pretty difficult when you haven't um, learned to actually be in a flow. And so we're allowing ourselves collective to go inward, to realize and do excavation of what is no longer serving us, and allowing us to be in a flow state of this with water and guidance from the divine. Also, this is a short, but if you want the full video, go to my YouTube channel. Um, with guidance from the divine. We are no longer playing small. For this to be the Queen of Cups lets me know that you are allowing yourself to take your rightful position in your life and what you are meant to experience. You are tending to your own garden, you are tending to your vessel. I will say definitely drink a lot of water today. I've been feeling it. Excuse me if I cough. I've been feeling this since last night. It's definitely time to stay hydrated. Hydrate our spirit. Definitely do energy healing today. Hydrate our bodies with water, fruits, vegetables, smoothies if you can, the things that are going to ultimately cater to your body, cater to your vessel. Then we have the ten of cups. This is a lot of water today. And the Ten of Cups speaks to a celebration of fulfillment, right? It speaks to abundance. Excuse me. I didn't want to cough on the video, so I have to pause it just for a second. But this is speaking to fulfillment. This is speaking to, gratification in your life because you decided to walk away from disempowered states, disempowered people, and even disempowered ways of operating the things that you do love, the connections that are beneficial to you. And when I say beneficial, beneficial from the standpoint of growth, okay? Mutually beneficial relationships. Now your home is going to be a place of harmony. This is what we're working to collective, where we're feeling more grounded within ourselves. We're feeling more in tune with what we desire. Thus, because we are more in tune with what we desire, now this can start being reflected, okay, in the collective. This can start being reflected back to us. Your home is your sanctuary, the very first home, okay, that we've encompassed outside of our mother's wombs, and ooh, that's speaking a lot to the water that's coming out today, is our vessel. Okay, in this earth plane experience, it is our vessel. And we've had to clean out a lot of the ways and the programming and the pre-scripting that was basically scripted for us, the painting that was already drawn on our canvas because we were in our mother's wombs. And while we were in our mother's wombs, we were also dealing with her wounds, her trauma, the preconditioning that was set up for her. And now you are daring to be the painter in your own life and draw on an empty canvas. And even still, we have to make sure that we are tending to our minds, tending to our bodies, tending to our spirit. But also, when these old limiting thoughts arise, take action to be that best version of self. Take action to recorrect or redirect the thought patterns to what you like, what you desire. See, things are happening in the collective now for the highest good of the collective. And you choosing you honoring you, and you honoring divinity, it is that time for you to align with your higher roads. Not what people um not what people had predestined for you, not a pre-drawn canvas. That's why this reading started with 8 of cups. And if for it to be an 8, as above so below, the fact that our spirit and our mind are connected, it's saying higher self is saying we can't keep going on this way. And even if it's to subconscious, areas of self, this is happening because now you are being ushered into a timeline that is befitting of you, a timeline that's going to benefit you, a timeline that's going to honor you. And in this, you have the 6 of Pentacles. You've been able to pour into your cup, okay, with the Queen of Cups. Celebration, okay? You've made it. You've been able to make your home, your house a home. And it's celebrated, and there's joyous energies there. And this is going to be the energies that continue. And if you decide to now pour into others, you are doing so from a place that you are fulfilled first. See, I always say that we can't pour from an empty cup, and that's true. So many of us, and many empaths, many healers, okay, many intuitives want to give of others, but their cups weren't being filled. And then you started to experience what it was like when you started to help others and you weren't being fulfilled. You were probably experiencing being disoriented, spiritual attacks, pain within the body, okay? Um, Apathy, like you just weren't interested in anything. That's changing at this point in time because it's the birth of a new season. And in this season, it's a new life. It's not a new or continuous chapter to what you've experienced in the past. And yes, this can be very disorienting. This can be um, scary. I know for me in the past, I used to be comfortable in the hardships that I was experiencing. Okay. And I feel like my shirt is saying, but we dancing out of here. uh, but no, I used to be comfortable, right? Because one of the deepest things that scared me was actually change. One of the deepest things that actually scared me was happiness. You know, actively being vulnerable. This is a season where you can now be vulnerable. This is the season where you will be accepted. This is the season for growth and rejuvenation. And these energies are in the air, collective. And it's for you to continue to do the work to align with it, to show up for yourself. Okay? Allow yourself to be rejuvenated. Allow yourself, to get rest. Allow yourself to have the sun shining upon your face. Allow yourself to be the greatest version of self that ever existed. And that starts with tending to self. That's not selfish when you choose you. But thank you for listening to this message from me and the divine. If you are curious about the services that we offer, because I don't do this job alone, okay, this work, it's not a job. I love what I do. You can go to www.mamarain.org. Take care, y'all, from me and spirit.